Hello students, welcome to this module on refrigeration and air conditioning. In this session, we are going to know about checking and servicing valve plates and piston assembly. Objectives. By the end of this exercise, you will be able to remove the valve assembly, check and service valve assembly, remove the piston assembly, check and service the piston assembly. Let us now take a look at the tools, equipments and consumables needed for checking and servicing valve plate and piston assembly. Flat file,
feeler gauge,
nose plier, scraper, brass rod, circuit plier, double end spanner 7 mm to 14 mm, screwdriver 200 mm, combination plier, hammer, ball pin, mallet, valve plate assembly, piston assembly with crankshaft, tray GI 12 inches into 12 inches, refrigeration oil ½ liter, kerosene,
bunion cloth,
1 square meter, coil rope 1 meter.
Now let us see the preparations needed for checking and servicing valve plate and piston assembly. Check and service valve assembly. Keep the valve assembly on a lapping plate. Place the valve as the reed is upward. Pour kerosene on the valve and check if the kerosene drops out of the valve assembly. It has to be serviced. Clean the valve assembly thoroughly with kerosene and wipe with bunion cloth. Check again for leakage. The valve assembly on a lapping plate. Check and service piston assembly. Identify each part of connecting rod and how it has connected the piston. Identify the tools required. Specify the size of each tool to dismantle the given connecting rod from crankshaft and piston assembly. Remove the split pin from the end of the connecting rod, halves, bolts and nuts. Remove the bottom halves of the connecting rod. Split the halves section bearings. Put your hand inside the crankcase opening. Push the connecting rod upwards and bring the connecting rod and piston out through the cylinder bore. Place the circlip plier inside the circlip. Holes apply some pressure and release the circlip. Remove the gudgeon or piston pin. Use the brass rod. And with the hammer, give it a gentle tap on the rod, which is placed on the end of the piston pin. As soon as the pin jets out, use the plier and bring it out. Remove the gudgeon or piston pin. Use the brass rod. And with the hammer, give it a gentle tap on the rod, which is placed on the end of the piston pin. Keep all the spares in order of the tray. Record the number of pin and cylinders and the description in table 1 of the record sheet. Check the hot spot of the bearing and clean it with the use of bearing scraper. Check the piston for scoring, then polish it. Check the cylinder bore for any scratches and remove it by applying the lapping paste and rub it by the coil rope till it gets smooth. Check the piston ring grooves and piston rings condition. Check the piston crown for any foreign materials and clean it. Check the scoring of the gudgeon pin. Embed it with a suitable gun metal bush. Record the remarks of the piston and cylinder before and after service in the table 2 of record sheet. Check the slots in the oil scraper rings. Check the edges of the piston rings for damages. Insert the rings into the bore and set equal distance. Check the butt clearance with the use of feeler gauge and record the readings in record sheet. For every 1 inch of bore, the gap should be 0.001 inch. If the gap is more, replace the ring. If the gap is less, with the use of flat smooth file, the gap side to be filed. Check the clearance again and it should be fixed in the cylinder. When new rings are to be used, the gap is to be checked and maintained.
In this topic, we came to know how to remove the valve assembly, check and service valve assembly, remove the piston assembly, check and service piston assembly. I hope you all understood the process of checking and servicing valve plate and piston assembly. Thank you students, and let us meet in the next session. Bye.